Welcome back to No Remorph Wednesday, guys. Appreciate everybody that's coming out here. Check out all the announcements below. We are running those RSS feeds direct from US Arc. So if they've got news, if they've got stuff in your area that's a concern, it will pop up there. Catch it if you want, whatever that's worth. But I thought that was kind of cool. Figured I'd throw that in there. We're back. We're back for a part 2. We had Adam on, I want to say like 3 months ago, and just didn't have the time clock we needed to touch on all the different things that Adam's involved with and all the positive work he's doing on his side toward his own goals and honestly for the community as a whole. So definitely mentioned it in that episode. We're going to come back and do a part 2. We're going to touch on some of the stuff we didn't get to. Some great stories from his history, his past and stuff that we hadn't heard before. Touched on a lot of odd things about Adam that I would have never guessed in a million years. And in doing that, we kind of got a little bit sidetracked and did hit on some of the major things he's doing and what he's up to now. So I'd like to kind of cover some of that with him. And he was kind enough to say, yeah, let's do a round 2 and let's get it out there. So appreciate Adam for that 100%. Little bit of news on the Forge coin side, guys. I know that we talked about it last month or so, maybe 3-4 weeks, kind of hinting at some changes coming up. Mostly good. There are a few things that are going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. We started the Forge coin off as a permanent coin. That was going to be a lifetime coin. And we're going to take all of that coin that people going forward will be time dated coin. So what you have now, what you have sitting will be that forever coin that we promised. That's going to stay with you as long as you don't spend it. That will be spent first, just as a heads up. So the coin in your bank currently will be the first stuff to come out if you decide to go do that merch with people or buy an animal, however you want to use it. But if you've got $80 in there and you haven't spent it, that's still going to be good. Coin from tonight going forward is going to be a 1-year expiration on that coin. A couple different reasons for that. We want to see it get rotated through the community a little more actively, whether that's a $40 shirt or $200 going toward a $600 animal really doesn't matter, but we'd like to see it getting back into the affiliates' hands and things that are willing to kind of go out there and put themselves out there a little bit too and join the program. So in doing that shorter time frame, we're also going to bump up some of the rewards that come out not only on the weekly show, but through some of the other affiliates as well. So they will be pitching in weekly. So the trivia goes up to $20 a week instead of 10. That doubles it already right out of the gate. They're open to do whatever they want with that. And some, actually many and most have voiced, hey, can we do like an 80 week? Can we, however that rotation works out? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. That's up to you guys. But the whole point is more of that money is going to be put out there. It's going to have a shorter lifespan. So we do have a way to date every transaction. We've got a system that Jason was kind enough to build through Excel and a spreadsheet that actually dates when you got that coin. So that will expire by that date in exactly 1 year. If you get coin in January, you don't spend it all the way through June, come back to January, only the January coin will expire. The stuff you gained in June is still good. So each individual deposit has that 1 year expiration. So keep that stuff in mind. I think that's excellent. I do think it's a great idea to get it a little more active and a little bit moving. People see that timeline coming and go, you know what? I'm just going to go get that $40 shirt. So keeps the bank account a little easier to track too, if I'm being honest. But so good, bad, take that however you want. Maybe some thumbs up. Maybe there's tomatoes being thrown at the cell phones and screens right now, but I think it's good news.
I was just going to throw in, currently, I post every week on our Discord what the totals are at the tallies. Mm-hmm. If the chat has a better way to do that or how they want it delivered to them so they're more up to date on what their totals are, please share. Because we can share it however is easiest for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And my initial thought was like, hey, we don't want to weekly advertise this list of people and how much coin they're hanging on to. I thought, if people want to go look, you can go look. You know what I mean? I didn't really want to run scrolling banners of that kind of thing. But there is that place to go check at any point in time you want. If you don't have access to that, we've said it 1,000 times, just let us know. Discord is fully open and public to anybody that wants in there, so it's accessible, I guess is the point. But yeah, great point, Jamie. I mean, if there's a
But I
different
know
way
some
we can
people
get that to
don't
you,
use Discord if they want me to just send it to them weekly or whatever it may be.
sure.
I'm willing.
Create an email list if you want to be on that. We could work
Yeah.
that out to anybody holding
Yep.
coin could get that mailer for sure. We can definitely make that work.
Yep.
It's a good point. Great point. Yeah, we've got 2 clutches left in the incubator, guys, and it does not look like anyone's going to set any more down. So we're going into 26 before we're going to see much for babies. I think both are scheduled to hatch, though, before the end of the year. So we'll get those last 2 25 clutches, and then we're out for the season. Super slow season for us. A lot of stuff never got paired. We just didn't see a reason to duplicate some of those pairings, but a lot of animals didn't go, too. It was a weird year for the females. Build all the way up to 18, 20, some of them, and turn right or back around and go back down to 8, So follicle development counter was doing the little bit of a Ferris wheel trick on us this year, and we didn't get that figured out for whatever reason. I think they were just choosing to pass, which is fine. Let's let them do their thing, let them be healthy. They're going to tell you when they're ready to go, so we're not going to push that. But yeah, not a ton of other news, guys. Let's just say hey to everybody.
I have news. Can I say my news?
No, you're not allowed.
My
you got, Jamie? You're so excited.
I know. My worm farm has baby worms for the geckos. I'm so excited.
And for those that don't know or have not done that for your gecko thing, doing the mealworms, things like that, that is a very slow, strange process. You're kind of just moving things in trays and crossing your fingers they're doing what they're supposed to. Can't visually see anything going on with the beetles, and you can't tell, are they dropping eggs through to the next level? Are those eggs doing anything?
They were.
But all you can do is hold your breath until you see the oats moving 2.5 months later, and you realize, okay, well, nature did its thing. I mean, that's a long time to sit and wonder. And so that's good.
We have worms. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, not making that trip to go get supplies for the geckos as much, right?
As often. It'll take a little bit longer till they grow, but yes.
Well, sure, yeah.
It's
going to
its
fill
way.
that slot, though.
Yeah.
Save that Jeep some extra miles this coming few months. But
for sure.
All right, guys.
Okay, that
Let's
was
see
all
who's
the
out
news
there.
I had. Okay.
No, that's great news. I'm excited, too. I thought that was very strange. Brave, good to see you, sir. Always out there in the audience. I know there's a fruit smoothie going around, so I'm laughing ahead of time, so you know that. Got Kike, salt and the support right there. Appreciate you. He's in everything, man. Kike's a great guy. There's one half of the mom-dad duo. They're out here every week. Still watching. I'm not sure how they have the, what do you want to call it, the fortitude for that every week. But they come back out and they're sitting through it. Dwight, good to see you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming out. Got Tim, the other half of the mom-dad combo there. Appreciate it. And all these ats are kind of, they still throw me off.
So
I wish
weird
they'd
to get
revert
used to.
that. Yeah, nothing we can do about it. Big Dan down there in Florida, good to see you, sir. Hopefully you got a nice trip coming up. I know you're taking everybody on the affiliates to that Alaskan cruise, so we appreciate that. It's nice of you. Smiley hearts. Good to see Mitzi out there. And Mitzi, I'll tell you what, that's one of the biggest supporters everywhere. I mean, I don't go on a podcast now where Mitzi isn't there. Travis, good to see you, sir. Appreciate you swinging out. Always good to see Travis in the chats, too. And Sammy just gave away a couple snakes on Web Wonders. Some lucky devil got those. I forget who the heck even won those. Do you recall?
Somebody
Adrian,
named
I think.
Adrian. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not
a couple of
familiar
snakes from
with
Sammy.
who that is. Yeah.
So congrats on that. Yeah, some GeneX Pied stuff going out to some lucky character out there. Chris,
hope you're feeling
good to see
good,
you,
man.
sir. I am more than sure he is not feeling good, but what we're definitely counting on is that the improvement's coming, and that's been a long, long journey for him. So good to hear that it's going the right direction, and all good thoughts going your way, Chris. Jay, Green Line, appreciate you swinging out, sir. Hopefully you get your shirt. Maybe you got it already, but hopefully you get it in the next day or two. And this one I'm not familiar with, but it could just be
This
the
is
at thing.
this is JC, I believe.
Oh, okay. See, the at thing is getting me
Yeah,
already, right? So, JC,
JC
our guest
is
next
on it.
week.
Yep.
Young gentleman trying to start his journey into this and ambitious as heck. And that's going to be a
Yeah.
really fun
I'm
interview. So,
excited. Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Jason
cool.
Opelt, every week. Old family friend. Appreciate you swinging in, man. Comes out and he watches the reptile stuff and laughs at us. I'm more than sure he's back there laughing. Sean O'Connor, that's the wheels on the Fat Man bus right there. Don't let Chris kid you. She's actually running that show over there. Big Mike, Rammer's Royals. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate all the offers you throw into that Discord before you list them. That's nice of you, man. Val, White Feather Balls. Undercover collection over there. We talked about it
Yeah.
last time Adam was on and had him on as a guest right after. And man, some crazy animals at
Yeah.
Val's place. So good to see you, Val. Ripping Reptiles. That guy's shoulders are about as wide as a Mack truck as he carries me around Battlefield 6, guys. We try to keep for those battle royales, and I'm just dying left and right, and he's dragging my body behind cover and reviving me. So appreciate you, Greg. Thank you for swinging out, man.
I have to get in and
Void
watch one of
Century.
those.
Yeah, they're comical, man, and I have to apologize to Greg. I'm too old and slow for that stuff, but it's fun. Void Century. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming out. We got James B. He won an arachnid tonight. It's got a nice tarantula
nice.
coming his way, so
Yeah,
congrats
first
on that,
one.
man.
Who did you
Yeah,
get that from?
it's a arachnid cat.
Arachnid
a-
cat.
White knee, I think. Don't ask me for the scientific name because I'll definitely
I
butcher that.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Besides, it was tongue twister for sure.
They
all
have
are, right?
goofy names. Yeah.
Big John, Mission Morphs. Hope Chance and the family is good down there, sir. Holding Texas down, I'm more than sure. Appreciate you swinging in. We got Justin and Alex over there, Pressure Pythons. Good to see those guys. Fun couple and just awesome to see them out there for support.
They are fun.
They are.
Yeah,
Their
they are.
Halloween deal was
Yeah.
awesome.
And tons of love they've admitted and actually bring it up all the time for their mentor, who is our guest tonight. So they super
yeah.
appreciated Adam in their time together. So nothing but good to say about Adam from that couple. And they're
I don't
such
remember
nice
if
people.
we said hi to Bosa.
We did. Yep. Salt and the support,
say
but we'll
hi
say
again.
hi again. He gets 2 of those.
All right.
It's like a second shot of espresso there for.
I see a gecko. I see a gecko guy out there though.
Do you? I'm getting
Yeah.
there. I have to go so slow.
Yeah, Jamie.
I don't
What's
miss
going
them.
on?
I don't want to miss anybody. They're all our
Oh,
friends.
Sleepy Will. Watching that tinfoil fitted podcast Thursday nights, guys. Will and Wiz go through conspiracy theories and
Well, that's
all kinds of cryptids and UFOs, UAPs. It's an interesting show. It's comical. They always get on a tangent, but it's a lot of fun.
it's my
There
friend
he
Tommy.
is.
Tommy, Ewog, good to see you, sir. Appreciate you swinging in. Hope things are going well down there.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Well, we're good.
Nice. Sweet. Okay, you guys know the drill. We're getting this shorter all the time. We're only at 14 minutes. We're doing pretty darn good. But questions for Adams got to come in between now and the hot seat. And we do have a little bit of a hot seat twist tonight, too, guys. So,
Twist. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think it's going to be far hotter than it typically is for someone. So, yeah, let's just get to it. We're going to run our commercials, guys. We'll be right back with Adam, but get those questions in for him. That helps us a ton because we really can't get to them a lot of times mid-conversation. That's tough to do, but we've got a section of time set aside for that. So throw them in there. Jamie's going to highlight them, and we'll see you guys right after the commercials, yeah? Back in just a couple.
Hey folks, here at The Forge we prioritize promoting people from the community, especially where we see opportunity to share some valuable insights or products with our followers. That is why we are thrilled to have BNS Reptilia as a sponsor. Chris is a fantastic example of bringing value to the community, with years of experience keeping a variety of animals from ball pythons and blood pythons to boas or colubrids and more. Chris brings a wide breadth of knowledge and a collection of beautiful animals. Chris also carries Coco2go and The Chipper, two of the highest quality reptile bedding products on the market. If you want to learn more about any of these species, are looking to add to your collection, or in need of some top-notch substrate, please don't hesitate to reach out to Chris at BNS Reptilia. Chris is also a member of a growing community of breeders who accept Forge Coin, so don't forget to show them your Forge Coin.
Yeah, 100%. Jamie's telling the king snake stories. We put her in a fairly good size enclosure with a lot of live active soil and all of that, and first thing she did was she went to straight burrowing. I don't know if she thinks World War III's coming or building a bunker or what, but you don't see her for like 2 days at a time, and she'll just poke her head up, peek around, come out for some food, and back to the tunnel network. It's pretty cool. So yeah. And speaking of the king snake, before we grab Adam, yes, hit that like button, please, guys. Appreciate that. Before we bring Adam out, I did forget to mention, we're supposed to bring this up all through the month of November. Chris over at BNS, one of the sponsors for the show, affiliate also, but he's doing a double point November. So now to the end of November, if you bring 40 coin to him, he's going to give you 80 value. So whatever you bring toward his product, he's going to double it. So awesome. Appreciate Chris for that.
Yeah.
Again, just another way that people are just trying to get that more active and get that moving, because it's a great program and we just like to see a little more out of it, So
yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate Chris for that. But Jamie, you're going to get us a trivia question.
Yes.
You might be doing hot seat, maybe not. We don't even know what's going on with hot seat. It's a whirlwind, guys.
There will be a hot seat.
There will be a hot seat. Yep.
You guys
That's all we know for certain.
They might have some input on that hot seat.
We'll come to that time. I'm sure Adam's back there going, all right, guys, you stalled long enough. Can I talk about my stuff now? So, Jamie, get back there. Get us a trivia question. We'll see you in a little bit, okay?
Yes.
All right. Appreciate it. Adam, I'm going to go ahead and bring you out.
Adam.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's I had fun last time, so I'm always willing to hang out and take as long as you want, man. I'm off tonight. I'm in the green room with a beer. I'm good. Like I can. No, thank you for having me. This is cool.
Right. Green room without a beer is just not a green room.
That's I'll go back up to my sofa. Yeah, exactly. How have you guys been doing?
Good, man. Late season brush on animals we weren't expecting. Super simple combos.
Sales wise, you mean?
Yeah, moving stuff out, and in the last month, I think it's close to 30 different animals went out. So for us, that's good numbers,
Heck yeah, it's good numbers. And I would say now I did a ton of shows, but yeah, the past 2 months I've done, I would say over 25% of my gross revenue for the whole year. Now, like I said, I did shows basically every weekend and a couple weekends doubled up shows, but it's not like I wasn't advertising the whole year and wasn't, willing to ship overnight, nationwide, all that good stuff. So, I don't know. Right now, it feels good. Ask me in another month, maybe I'll say something different. But right now, it feels good.
Right. And I kind of wondered the same, is it at that teetering point where market is starting to look a little better, but yet it fell right when everybody knows shipping is going to get tight to different areas, temperatures, different things going on. And I kind of wonder if it just didn't hit some weird balance in the last month where people are like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to sneak it in before the winter comes in and wrecks things. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, that actually was some of my marketing push was I wanted to move as much inventory as possible before everybody starts running sales on Black Friday to Christmas. It's just a bloodbath of pricing. We already have the auctions doing that. So I wanted to move that. And then, like you say, the temperatures, it's been a warmer fall. So, I got similar temperatures to you guys. I even shipped out today, no problem. But regardless of temperatures in between, from Black Friday on, I pretty much don't, I wouldn't even say pretty much. I don't ship until January again, and then I have to wait for magical windows in a Minnesota January to ship.
Yeah,
right, which are rare. I mean, extremely rare.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and we have had warmer winters just in general, right, in this area. But still, you've got that stretch from like late December almost through mid-March where it's almost impossible to see a ship day,
Yeah. Well, last year was tough. Last year we went into that freeze and stayed there for weeks. I mean, it was weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to it. It's all cold to me, but yeah, there's. I've been told they haven't been that harsh the past couple of years, but they're plenty cold for me. But I do take that as the time to really focus my advertising and I guess just my business focus on the local market. Because they can't ship out, they can't safely get animals in, and there's opportunity there too. So. Before I forget, Chad, I haven't figured out how to comment on this platform, so I'm not ignoring you guys. I see all the comments. I don't know how. I don't know if I can comment or not. I don't know how to on this platform.
I have to think and actually maybe Jamie, can you check on that while we're chatting? And if you come up with a reason, we'll bring you out and we'll have you explain to Adam. But I feel like there has to be a way.
Yeah.
I just don't use that side. So.
Right.
You don't see anything. You don't see anything right underneath the chat.
No, I've been poking around. I can search the chat. I can chat you guys on a private chat. I can't figure out how to chat. So no big deal. I got a microphone, so I mean I can I can go.
There you go.
Right. And if you do address somebody, just address them. That's completely fine. We will take no offense to that whatsoever. So.
Sure. And I guess if anybody's wondering, don't take anything I just said as in we can't do business for a few months. There's no rental fee. There's no food fee. You buy an animal, I'll hold it through the winter. It'll be, I treat it just the same as the ones that I own, that I keep. It's not like I'm going to cut down its feeding or anything like that. So, like I say, we can do business.
Yeah, you don't have a stasis chamber for them over there when they get sold? Just kind of slide them over to the stasis and
right. Just put them over there and hope that'll be what's your business model? A little bit of hope.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we talked so long the first show that we really ran about a half over what we normally do.
It was a blast,
and still didn't touch a lot of the things we wanted to talk with you about.
Yeah.
And I think. Tonight we're going to try and hit some of those topics that were a little bit, I don't want to say danced around because we didn't avoid it. We just didn't get a chance to dig in. So
no, there was no dead air on that. That was a great time. That's like that's the mark of like a good episode. No dead air. We're just full chatting. Leave them wanting more. That's fine.
Yeah. And part 2 is inevitable, right? So I guess I kind of want to, while it's fresh in my brain, because I did review a little bit about what we talked about, but we never really touched on the rodent side of what you do too. And that's a big part of what aside from your allergy and your aversion to the animal itself, like the business side of the rodents and how that's looking for you, what you're looking to do with that. How big do you want it to be? And I guess just in general, how it's going,
Yeah. The going way back fast version, I never thought I would breed rodents. I didn't have a desire to breed rodents. I am allergic to rodents. I don't particularly like them as animals. I like them as, feeders and that stuff just fine. I don't dislike them. I just don't want to spend time with them. But feeding costs are challenging, of course. And, shout out to Cold Blooded Cafe. I have a great relationship with them for frozen thawed. And I do still use their product. And I do still try and get all of my animals on frozen thawed, both from a safety standpoint, plus like they have medium rats that ASFs don't ever get to that size. So anyway, I opted to start breeding ASFs when I started to see kind of the benefits of ASFs for me. I have no idea about the scientific analysis, if they're actually healthier or what their composition is and blah, blah, blah. I hear all those things. I don't know if it's true or not. What I do believe and what I've seen is that ball pythons eat them very, very consistently. They're becoming more and more accessible. We're knocking down this myth that they get hooked on ASFs. They don't get hooked on ASFs. They're just weird ball python creatures, you know. But what I find with breeding females is that and I have no idea, this is just total conjecture on my part, but I found when I primarily feed my breeding females ASFs while they're breeding or their follicles are building, that I see more success and I see a more robust female body condition. And again, total anecdotal. I can't back that up with any science other than just what I think. So maybe I'm looking for the right answer. So I liked having those. There was actually with Justin and Alex in Jacksonville, Florida, there was a breeder of ASFs there. And I tell you, every time, you know, you have a challenge with a ball python eating ASF, it goes. Then the breeding females, I can feed them a bunch and they eat it and they just build and seem to have a really good body condition. And then I moved to Minnesota, or started to make plans to move to Minnesota. And this is, it's just facts. It's not me talking smack about anybody. Twin Cities Reptiles, the iconic shop here in town. This is actually something I'm really thankful for. They sell, or at the time, I haven't checked lately, they were selling ASFs for $10 a piece.
Right.
And then I started looking around at where you could get ASFs, and the local market is really pretty highly priced on ASFs. And I started crunching numbers and I'm like, A, I don't want to pay that for ASFs.
Yeah.
B, I want a slice of that pie. C, they're cleaner and they smell better to me than rats and mice do. And so I started looking into breeding them. And that's how that came about. I think you said we were going to talk about this, but I recently bought and renovated a facility. And I had about 2 years of experience of breeding ASFs under my belt. So I had an idea of what I wanted for cleaning, for efficiencies, for setup, for watering. And I built all that into the new facility. And just this past October, I just increased my breeding stock of ASFs by 900 animals. That was for breeding stock. So
Nice.
They're not at the point of producing yet, all of them, but I have production now set up to triple what I had been doing.
Very nice. Okay.
Now I feed a lot of my collection. If something is not a holdback, I'll switch it to frozen thawed. And then if something is a holdback and is close to the breeding time, I'll switch them to frozen thawed, because after they lay, I want them to eat frozen thawed small and medium rats. And then when they start building follicles, I'll switch them back to ASFs and really just almost give an open buffet for them. If they want to eat, they get to eat when they're building follicles.
Makes
For
sense,
sure.
man.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I don't have a counterpoint to the ASF and the female builders, because we do the ASFs here too. So I don't really have a bar to go against, but a lot of our mix, we do supplement with frozen thawed rat, and we try to alternate that in. And I haven't noticed a drop in the ones we offer either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They seem to freely take whatever's there, but I can't speak to that productivity level of the ASF versus rat. I just don't know.
It's something that I've heard, and then I tried to put into practice, and it seemed to work, but that's a slippery slope. You can see what you want to see sometimes. I'll be the first to admit that. And
right.
One point of clarification: I'm not selling my ASFs for $10. I thought there was a healthy place in between the $10 mark and a place where I could make money and really bring value. So I don't want people to be like, well, I was thinking of buying ASFs from him, but screw that guy. No, that's not the case.
No, we don't want it. We don't want to sink your market by thinking that. But
no, I don't want people to think that. And I don't know. I'm happy to talk pricing, but I think I priced them fairly and very competitive. competitively. And anyway, I'm happy to. But I only sell live and I only sell locally. Those are the two things. I don't sell any frozen ASFs whatsoever.
Okay, that was my next line of questioning was like, do you do even for your own side? Do you gas? Do you freeze anything of your production?
I have
purely live.
Purely live, and it's because I've never gotten to the point where I haven't figured out where the saturation point of the market is. I've never been able to produce enough to outweigh what I need and what my customers request. Even today, somebody came by and said, I need a bunch of larges. I said, I don't have larges. I got mediums for you. I don't have larges for you. So I've not been able to meet all the demands and requests. One of the reasons that I do also like to keep my ball pythons eating frozen thawed rats is if I do get a big order and I have an opportunity to take some of the revenue, I can switch and use the frozen thawed rats. So I'll kind of stockpile those. And so like right now, I know that I need to replenish some colonies, and I know that I want some larges for myself. So this week I'll actually feed all frozen thawed rats, pups, and weans to anything that'll take it, so that the ASFs that are growing up can grow up and get to the larger size.
Get a chance. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. That's always a weird thing. And we do a very small scale here. Jamie and I have those on our side. But that turnover time, you really need to figure out early. You know, if you hit that dead spell and you don't have a good fresh colony to take the place of a retired colony or something that just got ate out of existence by need, you've got a big lag there. And I think people underestimate that cycling of your animals in the right proportions at the right time. Otherwise, you've got a real quantity roller coaster. You can go from an overage to nothing in real short order.
The hardest math I've ever done is ASF math. It is, and I'm not joking. It is.
It's tough. Yeah.
I still have yet to totally figure it out. And even if you do figure it out, it requires everything to go perfectly, which those animals are bonkers. They are sensitive to change, whether it be temperature, food, water, and then they're just crazy. Some of the lines of them are just downright vicious, and some even in my own collection, some of them are incredibly sweet, and others are they just run at you. They just attack you, man.
Wow. Okay. So we hadn't seen that yet. Now, granted, we started with only like 2 or 3 different stock coming in, but like everything, we can reach in there and pet it, pick it up, talk. You know, I mean, they're extremely tame.
Oh. I don't mess with mine, and I've heard people say that they breed for friendliness, and I was like, to me, this will sound mean, but that's more work, and I'm only raising these to feed to the snakes. Like I don't need to be friends with them. I got gloves. That doesn't bother me, but I do watch my hands, and I always have gloves. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the wide range of reports you get back. Like you're saying, some charge you and the next one's sweet as can be. And it's odd that we have none of that like biter mentality. And there's 25 colonies down there. So, I mean, it's a lot of rats, but
right.
And just don't see it for whatever reason. Maybe, like I say, those first 3 batches we just got super lucky, and all the cross in between just came out right. But
to be honest,
I don't think
the issues we see is the weirdos that want to eat each other, you know, kill the males off, and then you're like, oh, we got to find
there's always
another
the
colony,
infighting.
Right? Yeah. And to be honest, I have less of that. Like I would rather them be angry at me than each other. So that's fine. Yeah. I guess if it's a choice, that's okay.
Right.
But honestly, it was the newest batch that I got were just, and that could be from, again, their temperament from change. That newest batch was shipped across the country. Or it wasn't shipped, transported across the country. So I don't know, maybe they're just still getting used to their new home and didn't like the trip and blame me for it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll see.
So,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and not to beat the ASF topic to death, but I'm kind of scanning who's out here, and I do see several faces in here that also are dealing with ASF. Can you talk about what you do as far as your food cycling? Any supplemental stuff you do with them to be successful and have your colonies produce well? I mean, I know there's a lot of people starting up, like DDM's a great example. They're trying to do that on their side too. So
Yep, you got it. So I feed, and I'm actually running an experiment right now, or a test food on a batch of them because, like I say, they are temperamental to change. So I've always fed Kalmbach, mostly because Chewy will ship it directly to my door and I don't have to store it. So I'm not in a position where I can buy a pallet of food and have a place to store it where I'm not concerned with it getting either infested by other rodents or spoiling or getting infested with bugs or mites and stuff. And some of that comes from like my fresh food experience in restaurants. I don't like having inventory on hand. I want as little on hand as I need to get by. So Chewy ships it to my door, and at 2 bags of Kalmbach, I get free shipping. And so I order 100 pounds every 2 weeks, comes right to my door, no problem. So I don't ever have more than 100 pounds. Well, maybe 125 pounds on hand at any given time. Then, as far as supplemental, I've just switched, and it's a local product, so I'll tell everybody where before I switch. I would go to Tractor Supply. You could get a 40-pound bag of black oil sunflower seeds, a 50-pound bag of scratch grains, a 50-pound bag of cracked corn, and a 50-pound bag of rolled oats. So you get a 190-pound batch. And I use 5-gallon buckets, and 190 pounds will go pretty nicely into 8 5-gallon buckets. And I would mix it in a big 55-gallon barrel just by hand, just with my arm in there. And I mix that seed grain, and that seed grain comes in at only about 40 cents on the dollar price per pound versus the Kalmbach. So I never was like, ooh, I shouldn't feed them too much because that's expensive. I'm like, eat this seed stuff up so I don't have to buy as much Kalmbach. And so anyway, I give them that every other day or on the weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I give all of the ASFs that seed grain combo mix. My grow out bins that I've weaned, I give them a ton of it. That stuff is like, they just eat it
for them.
It just fattens them up real quick. The breeders, I give my 1.3 colonies, I probably give between half a cup and 3/4 of a cup. And then my 2.10s, I probably give like 1 cup serving of that every other day. So that's what I do on the supplementals. The mealworms I'll use on like the first supplemental feeding after I've weaned the weanlings. So I'll put them in like they're just off their mom's milk. Maybe they're figuring out the water, figuring out the Kalmbach. They got the seeds. I'll put the mealworms in there just to kind of jumpstart them as well.
Okay, gotcha.
The dried ones.
Yeah, absolutely. The pre-dried bagged. Yeah, gotcha. Protein boost. Do you do any of that through that cycle? I mean, I know they're getting some of that through the seeds and grains, but it seems like if we don't supplement protein, especially on like a really and when I say mid-tier, like a colony that's active and they've got 4 or 5 litters in already, like if we're not doing that protein supplement, we see a lot of drop off. I'm curious if you see the same or if that's kind of something we imagine or.
Well, I can't tell you that you imagine it. I don't. So, somebody that was a mentor to me, who's Dale at Constricted Reptiles. Dale says he just feeds his Missouri and that's it. No supplement, no nothing else. So I liked the seed supplement. It seems to give them, I put the seeds right in the substrate. It seems to give them something to do, to dig and stay busy. And I don't know.
Yeah, forage a bit. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm telling myself that or if it's true. But beyond the seeds, I have not done anything. Now, my understanding is the black oil sunflower seeds are really high in protein. So that's an integral part of that mix. And then I run mine on a pretty strict 6-month cycle. So 6 months, when their first litter drops, I don't know who the mom is, but the first litter that drops, I mark the 1.3 bin with the date. And 6 months after that date, I pull the male. He goes off to Python land. And then I let the moms empty out, and then they're retired as well. So I'm sure that there's tweaks I could make, but it's what's working for me, and I'm getting the production where I'm happy with it. I don't know. I've heard of. I have seen. I tell you what. I have seen some incredible production, and I don't feel like I'm at that level. But on the other hand, I wean once a week. Maybe I was looking at people that only wean once a month, and maybe they had a smaller collection. I mean, I'm feeding about 300 snakes at a time. So hard to know for me. I'm actually at a point in time where I want to take some field trips off to some bigger bigger breeders productions, and go see what they do and go learn, go work with them for a day. And one of the most valuable things you could do is just go offer to work. Hey, can I come clean your tubs for a day? And just watch what's
see their cycle.
On. Yeah, exactly. Just see what's going on, So there's some of that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And perfect information for those, like I say, the people that I do see out there that are starting out in this, or maybe they do it themselves and they're going to pick up some little odd thing you do differently, right? And That's all great information, but a ton of ASF people in the chat right now. So I thought that'd be a great topic we could touch on a little more. The 6-month tip, absolute must in my mind. Like same exact thing. We label the tub the month they expire. I mean, and when that comes around, it's like mails out, exact same routine. So
and if sometimes I've been like, oh man, I don't have a colony to replace it yet. And I just let it, and it just drops out. It just crashes. Like the results aren't there. Like I'd rather, and I don't know, sometimes it seems like they turn on each other, and then you've wasted a really big meal that would be excellent for one of those big females, And so, I just do it like clockwork. It's part of that cycle of life and production in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on it briefly, and I don't know how much of this detail you want to go into, but the facility, and we can see behind you from your podcast in the past, you had racks, you had a whole room full of snakes and things, but you've shifted all that now. You've moved it over to this car wash, right?
That's
right. What it started as? Okay.
Yeah.
And still is.
Yep.
Okay. Can you, and as detailed as you, I know it sounds silly, but it's really not. It's kind of ingenious. And, honestly, cool. Can you fill us in on how that works and how that's actually operating now?
Yeah. Full transparency. Nothing to hide here. So anything I leave out or skip over and you want to know about, just ask away. So the shorter version is when I moved to Minnesota, I learned, and you're going to laugh because, like I said, I know you guys live in a similar climate and probably similar architecture and whatnot to me. But coming from Florida, I'd never heard of such a thing where you have heat. Like your floors are heated by radiated heat. And for those of y'all not in Minnesota, or like me, maybe I was just oblivious and everybody knows about this, but there's a boiler that pumps glycol through a zigzag series of pipes that are embedded in the concrete, and it radiates heat upwards. And one of my favorite things to do is to see other people's operations. Like I was just talking about, I love to do it when I was running restaurants and go see other clubs and whatnot. Shout out to Joe at JSA. When I came up, and he'd been a guest on the show, so we did know of each other, but we never met. And I took a tour of his facility because I wanted to learn what it took to keep reptiles in Minnesota, which, again, for a Florida boy, that sounds scary. And he tells me about this radiant floor heat. And I'm like, that blew my mind. It was kind of crazy. And I was like, well, what other heat do you use in the winter? He's like, why am I going to have two heats? That's heat. And I was like, because you're in Minnesota, pal, and you got reptiles. And
you need heat everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like, I want all the heat, man. And he's like, no, that's just it. And then he said, you get much less of the temperature gradient because the heat's rising from the floor rather than down from the air vents going right back up. And I was like, oh my gosh. This is what I need. I'm like, man, when the day comes that I can have and design my own building, this is going to be it, And I can't speak to some of the other, insulation and stuff that he went through. So I was outgrowing the place here. My wife was thrilled at the profitability of ASFs, but hated the ASFs. They weren't in our house, but our shed in the backyard, that was where we would normally keep bikes and lawnmowers. That was the ASF farm. And, it's like, hey, when are you going to not have those here kind of deal? So I started looking for commercial properties, and I really wanted in-floor heat. And I couldn't find anything. And a side story was that I got mad at my commercial realtor, and I knew nothing about commercial real estate. So I forced myself to look up every commercially available property within a 15-mile radius of my home, mostly because I was mad at the realtor and I thought that he was pricing things wrong. So I wanted to come up with my own metric for pricing. And I said, I'm going to go look at every one of these properties and learn about every one of them. And a car wash was for sale. And just out of my own stubbornness, I went to go look at that car wash, which I had no business looking at. And what do I see in the listing? Heated floors. And then, like the beautiful thing from my kitchen days, floor drains. All the floor, it's made for water to be everywhere and to drain down. I can scrub the floors, I can squeegee, and it all goes into a floor drain and into a commercial floor drain. And that's when the wheels started spinning. Like, wait a minute. Okay, price per foot was pretty good on this particular property. Actually, it was much cheaper than what the other guy was, what he was arguing with me about. And then I was like, it has in-floor heat and it has floor drains. And I was like, okay. So the car wash.
Everybody is going out to find one of these now. You realize
that. Well, I tell you what, I'm not here to say that it's a good model yet, but it's one of those old school car washes that just has basically a pressure washer, and you put your quarters in it, and that's it. There's no drive-through machinery. There's none of that. So it was basically just a cinder block garage with heated floors and industrial floor drains. And I was like, and there's 3 of them. So I was like, I got really creepy. I started just sitting out there watching the business. I would just go park and watch. And I was like,
it's got the collar pulled up, the hat pulled down.
Just having coffee in the wintertime, hanging out in Lonsdale at the car wash. And I was like, this place isn't doing that much business, which is a downside, but it's not doing that much business. And I was like, whatever business this place does on 3 bays, it'll do on 2 bays. And I'm going to convert one of these bays. So that is kind of the genesis of how this all happened. And so to speed things up, I put in an epoxy floor. We framed and sheetrocked everything, 3 inches of spray foam insulation. The front garage door opening had to be replaced. We built a wall there and a doorway there. The inspector, I did check with the town. I was upfront with the town with what I was going to do and what the purpose of it was. And the town planner was like, that's unusual. I need to get back with you on that. And I said, hey, let me know any assets or information you need or contacts you'd like for the DNR, who I happen to know the Department of Natural Resources is who regulates ball pythons and exotic pets. And I'd already checked with them. There's nothing illegal about what we're doing. I said, this is a commercially zoned property. I want to turn this into a pet store. I will have non-venomous ball python species in there. And the guy called me back in 3 days and he said, we'd love to have you have your business in our town. And I got him
awesome.
I got him to put it in writing in an email.
Right? Not just verbal. You definitely want that on paper. Yeah.
I have to say, actually, to his credit, he suggested that it be done in writing. And there's been no problem whatsoever from the town. I get some interesting, questions. Do you have snakes in there? And it was kind of cool because the town was like, well, what kind of signage? And I said, no, I want to keep the car wash running because I think the car wash could pay its mortgage. And if the car wash will pay the mortgage on the building, I get the facility. It's not free because I had to finance it, but eventually it'll pay for itself. And I said, he said, well, are you going to put up like neon flashing signs of snakes? I said, no, absolutely not. Actually, I would.
That's the last thing you want.
Yeah. I said, I would prefer that people don't know that I'm there, to be honest with you. And it would be at most by appointment only. And he says, oh, okay. He said, that's interesting. I said, why is that? And he says, well, the code is if you're commercially zoned, you have to be available for consumers, to customers. And I said, oh. He says,
and a car wash, they're not, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the car wash is open for customers to come use it whenever they want, you know.
So that didn't qualify for your bay, though, right? I guess is what they're getting at.
If he was, honestly, he was looking at, because I told him, I said, here's what I don't want. I don't want to spend 6 figures and have somebody get weird in town. And in a small town city council, it doesn't take much to rile up people, and you get run out of town. And now I'm stuck with an old car wash and a debt, and I don't want that. And he said, well, let's close up these loopholes. And he said, that's interesting what you said about appointment only. I said, why is that? He goes, well, the hair salon next door to you, which is ironic, is a commercially zoned property, and you have to have an appointment to go there. And he says, why don't you make your proper royals by appointment only and keep your car wash running, and we'd love to have you. I said, sounds good. Done.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
And I've not had any issue, no problem whatsoever.
As you were
thank
talking
God for a crappy realtor, that you went and found that on your own. Honestly.
I've been told I'm pretty stubborn, and that's come in handy there. Sorry, Jason, I keep cutting you off.
Yeah,
you're fine. No, I was just saying, as you were talking, you probably saw me looking off the side. I was trying to find pictures of the manifold for the new facility. I was going to pull it up because you'd laugh right away, the big giant manifold for the floor heat. But I don't have a picture. I don't have a picture apparently. So
and we could get really nerdy. So what Jason's talking about, the manifold's a pipe that the water runs into, and then all the loop pipes that go through all the floor. There's a out and then an in back to the boiler, right?
Yeah.
Well, the little valves on top, I can turn on, I can open and close the different loops. So like the car wash only needs to be heated like now, like when it gets down to like 27 or below. But the reptiles I need heated when it's 55 and below or whatever, for example. So I got an infrared little camera gun off of Temu, and I figured out which pipes go in there and which valve. So I can heat only the reptile side if I want to, and not have to heat the other 2/3 of the building until I need to.
Nice.
This sounds like rocket science to a guy from Florida. Like, I love this stuff. This is just like has my brain just going, So in that bay, I built a wall down the center as well. And on the left side is the rodents. And on the right side is the reptiles and the big sink. And my show displays are there. What is left at the house is the other storage. So I have a lot of backup tubs, my shipping supplies, my show banners, and my show kit. They're all still at the house and will stay here for now. So that's where it's at. Yeah. So I have a car wash, rodent and reptile farm. Yeah.
It sounds so wild, but like when you really look at the details you laid out, it's perfect. It's literally perfect.
Thank you. It's again, time will tell, but it's what I need. And this will sound small to some people. It is 32 feet deep by 16, or 30 feet deep by 16 wide. So it's only 480 square feet, which is limiting in one way, but it is a 10-foot ceiling. But you'd be amazed at how many racks you can fit into that space of both rodents and ball pythons, and then the sink. But one thing I learned in my Ruby Tuesday days, which I worked for them for 10 years, from when I was 16 to 25, the more space you have, the more space you have to heat, the more space you have to pay rent or mortgage on, the more space you have to clean, and the more space for crap to accumulate that will get in your way eventually, or that you're going to have to sift through, and it's going to waste your time. So that one bay is 480 square feet. If in 3 or 5 years I'm just booming along, or if I really crush this rodent thing, I could convert another bay, and it's there, and I have the blueprint and the model of how to do it now as well.
Yep.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Have you noticed the dry floors all the time. Like as soon as you put any moisture on those floors with that floor heat, I mean, it immediately evaporates. You can do, like you say, a full clean and it's gone. Like give it 10 minutes, it's gone. You know?
I actually, one of the things I do at the end of every day before I leave is I just spray the floors down to try and keep up humidity, but it doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest with you. It sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm learning some tweaks on it. I'm also learning today was not all that cold. I mean, it was cold, but it wasn't that cold. So it was like 31, which is plenty cold, but it was like 31. And my feet were blazing hot from not because the floor was warm, but I had warm socks on top of an 82 or whatever degree floor, whatever it is by the time it's percolating up. And I was like, man, am I going to have to bring like a pair of sandals for the winter or what? I'm going to have to learn this. I'm not sure,
Yep. Just some slides to skip around the facility and all winter long.
Right.
And that's nice, but you're right. You don't think about those things because it's such an odd way to get all of your heat. It's cool.
Yeah. Like I say, it wasn't horribly cold, but there were warmer socks than I would wear in the middle of summertime. So, I mean, I'm in there and I'm like, this is a lot. Mission Morph brings up an excellent point. The smaller, tighter space is not, I see that as an asset versus a limitation. It does keep me focused. It does put a cap on it. I was just talking on my own show last night. I think that my equipment budget line, one of my goals for 2026 is to reduce that by 70% coming into this year because there's not space for I literally can't buy more equipment responsibly and fit it in there. So it's going to cause me to pivot to productivity, efficiency, and profitability versus what more do I need to buy? How do I max things out? It's maxed. I mean, I could buy some rodent equipment, but not snake equipment is maxed out, man. That's it. So there is it's a nice guardrail is what it is.
What about your show stuff? What about your vending equipment? Things like, I mean, I know you're set up pretty nice, but are you looking at expanding any of that or doing anything different with it?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I left instead of reducing it by 100%, I said I want to reduce by 70%. So I currently, on my biggest show setup, I have 4 ARS displays and then a tower that's actually from Mid-Florida Displays, but it's a six adult tower. And then I found myself this year using some deli cup displays. So 2026, I'll probably pick up 2 more ARS displays, bring that up to 6. And then I need to see, again, stealing this from Dale, the ARS towers. None of ARS's equipment is cheap, and I'm not suggesting it should be cheap. It's durable. I mean, I made a joke. There'll be cockroaches, Keith Richards, and ARS racks after the apocalypse. Man. Like, that's what's going to be left, So, but again, from Dale, the case that the tower comes in from ARS. You could set that on the floor, and it's the same height as a 30-inch table, I believe. So nice. You don't have to set your tower on your table when real estate gets tight. You could set the case adjacent to the edge of your table and then set your tower on that case. So that display that I have, that tower display, when that one finally goes, I'm going to try and get another year out of it because I think those towers are about $500. All the displays are about $500, which is still not chump change. But I'll probably get 2 of those towers because I'm coming into sort of the not to be cheesy using the era term, but I'm coming into my own era where I'm going to have to start cycling out breeders. My first 5 years, I really haven't had a need to do that. It's the time where if it's not advancing me and I'm not being able to create something new, I probably don't need it anymore, and I'm not benefiting from it. So, for example, Perfectly Fine Animal gives me a ton of eggs. She's a het VPIA xanthic. There's an argument to be made. Maybe I never needed that animal, but I've made some very cool double hets and other axanthic project things with her. I really don't. I can't justify breeding and keeping her anymore. Another breeder will find great use for her, or a pet owner, but I'm going to need more adult displays as well. So over the next couple of years, that's kind of the outlook on the display stuff.
We just kind of hit that phase too. I think mainly this year really kind of solidly got into it's like we gotta get some of these breeders out because we're kind of done with them. So
right.
Totally get that.
And it's kind of like what we were talking about with yeah, it is. I got my 6:30 show tomorrow morning, man. I that's okay though. No, it's.
I was waiting for the reply. You couldn't pass that up for sure.
Well, I tell you what. Here's another cool thing from Minnesota. First time ever I experienced last night. The Northern Lights are out, man. I can't believe it. And tonight's supposed to be even more robust than last night. So after the show, I might have one more brown ale and go sit in the backyard and check out the auroras tonight. Man, it's really, really cool to see.
It sounds like just another reason you need to come out to the ice shacks when we get them set up this winter.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I have heard tales of such things. I need to go experience those for sure.
They're almost like a little Airbnb with a hole in the bottom to fish. I mean, you got a stove, you got a microwave, it's warm, you're sitting in your shorts fishing. It's fantastic.
All right, so you got the full-on thing because, again, what people not from here don't realize is these could be as simple as a camping chair and basically a tent, which is not that as enjoyable for me, or they make these full-on like RVs that just drop on the ice and literally have like manhole covers that you just drill your hole in, and you got the game on, you're drinking cold beer, you're getting hot soup, I can't believe it. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. I'll take
We could set the tent up. Yeah, we could set the tent up outside for you if you want, but we'll be in there.
We always say start there, then you really appreciate the RV.
There was one day, my brother-in-law, he says, "Hey, why don't you come ice fishing?" I said, "Fantastic." And I love fishing. So we go there, and he and his buddy, I mean, probably different life experiences, different stages of life. I mean, he and his buddy, we were all drinking, but they're smoking inside the tent. I guess one of them felt it was a little too chilly to relieve themselves outside. Hey, you got a good, plenty fine hole over there in the corner. And I'm like, guys, I got to get out of here. Not to mention I am cold. Like I am unbelievable cold in there. So I'll take the RV I'll take the RV version myself, please.
All right. Sounds good. We'll just plan on the RV. We'll bring the tent just in case you feel reminiscent or something.
Right. Yeah. If I start to get grumpy, just send me out to the tent. I'll be real happy when I come back in.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's a great segue. Our last one wasn't such a great segue, but we're talking about being cold. You're going to have to warm us up here. So we do have a bit of a twist. We're at the hot seat time, guys. It's always an hour in. We hit that. Adam's asking the questions tonight. Okay. His forte is the interviewing. It's his podcast. This is where he's comfortable. This is his wheelhouse, if you will. But we need some help from the audience. There's 3 of us, and only one of us is going to sit in there with Adam tonight. So we're going to need to see as many. You guys just shout names: Jason, John, Jamie. Who goes in the hot seat with Adam? Who gets brutalized tonight? So we're going to let that roll for just a few minutes while Adam figures out how to escape this ice fishing invite.
Oh no, I'm in. I caught a big pike this summer. Like I want to get it on a ice rod, all that. I'm in. I'm serious. I'm in.
Nice. Okay. Well, that is what it is. So we got a vote for Jason. We got a Jamie vote. We got a John vote. Boy, it's a dead heat right now. It's absolutely no. We got 2 for Jason. So we got 2 for Jason, 3 for Jason. Mitzi wants Jose to go on the hot seat.
There we go.
No, I'm kidding.
Jose in there.
That would be a trick. So, oh man, how are we going to do this? I didn't think about like a great way to vote. It looks like it's going to be Jason. I see a lot of Jasons.
Might be John. I see lots of Johns in there.
Yeah, I think Jason's trying to win. I think that's a better reason. If Jason's trying to back out, he goes in. So we won't burn too much more time. We're going to give this about another 30 seconds, guys. If you really want to see one of us in there, throw them in real quick, and we're going with Jason as it sits. I think Adam's prepped for this. We'll see.
Oh, I'm ready. We're not messing around tonight.
Right. Okay, here we go. It looks like Jason is the one. We got another. Chris really wants to see Jason, and that's like the third time he said that, so we better oblige. Here we go, guys. We're going to switch over. Give me just 1 minute to set it up because it is not our normal thing. Let's see. It's going to be
refreshing the beer for this one.
Yeah, you better get a cold beer, Jay. We'll put you over in that chunk. You know what? I'm going to have to do it this way. So we're going to transition. Jason, you're going to show up there in just a second.
Just threw them right. You're not going to get out of the questions if you kick them off. All right. All right. Well, okay. So believe it or not, I never write 20 questions for my own show. So these are, and it's the hot seat. It's fast. And no, we don't need explanations. We need answers. Okay. All of these are choice A or choice B. And, I don't know, maybe you can revisit them later, but we'll get through this here. Okay. All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you can't waffle. You got to pick. There's no sitting on a fence here.
All right. Man, Adam's rough, man.
Hey, you invite me here. This is how we're going to go here. So clown or pied?
Clown.
Buy a powerhouse male or invest in more females?
Powerhouse male.
Okay. Are we in a correction or a crash? Ball python market, that is. Let's just keep a narrow focus.
Correction. Yeah, correction.
You can only keep one of these two genes, banana or enchi.
Enchi.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure that's correct, but that's fine. You're allowed to answer however you wish. Stones or the Beatles?
Oh, man. No waffling, huh? I'm going to go with the Beatles. I'm going to go with the Beatles.
That's why you chose Enchi. Okay. YouTube content. Two incorrect answers so far. YouTube content. Do you like it polished or off the cuff? I think we're seeing your preference, but go ahead. You can answer.
Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. The next 5 years, do you want to expand or refine and focus?
Definitely refine and focus.
Okay. AI in marketing, time saver or a soulless cop-out?
Soulless waste of time right now. It might become something. Not a huge fan.
Okay. In the mornings, which do you do first? Have coffee or turn on the lights in the snake room?
Honestly, so if I don't have to turn on the lights, because I usually just go in there, first place I go, honestly.
Okay.
I go in there. I don't turn anything on. Once in a while, I'll check somebody out. I always look in the incubator, check my temps, then I go get coffee.
Okay. All right. There you go. I can empathize. Which entrepreneur do you look up to more or like or whatever of those words? Elon Musk or Mark Cuban?
Mark Cuban.
Okay. Would you rather try to pitch something on Shark Tank or Pawn Stars?
You know what? I think I'd have a better chance on Pawn Stars.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Would you rather vend next to a legend or a first timer?
You know, it depends on my mood. If it's kind of more about me, then a legend. But if I'm looking to kind of maybe enjoy things a little more, maybe a first timer.
Well,
sorry, waffling.
Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna go with. I'm gonna be stingy. We're gonna go with the legend.
Okay, there you go. All right. Which late night project session are you more likely to be found in? Creating a spreadsheet or snake cleaning?
Man, did you do these? Did you do these just for me? It seems like these are kind of molded. You know, this is a tough one. What a nerd.
I see where this is going.
I'm gonna go with the snake cleaning though.
Snake cleaning. Okay.
Yeah.
In the comments section, do you think that they're a gold mine of feedback or a war zone to stay away from in your own content, of your own YouTube content?
Gold mine of content. Yeah.
Okay.
Or feedback. Yep.
I'll leave this one open-ended, or I'll give you the choices. Your call. What's your dream collaboration if you could collaborate with any breeder?
I would probably say, at least for a time period, probably Aussie.
Oh, cool. I'll allow some elaboration on this one if you wish. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, again, being stingy, depending on what you mean by collaboration too, but honestly, I want into some of those lines. I would really like to get some of that into some of the stuff that I'm working with. That's really it. It's all about that.
Understandable. I get that. You can qualify your answer, and it's your choice, either vending or attending. Daytona or Tinley?
I can only go by what I've done. So we've never gone to the Tinley, have done Daytona, love Daytona. I feel like from what I've heard, Daytona is a little more of the speed. Not a big fan of cramped spaces. So, you know what I'm saying? It just seems a little more relaxed. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. If you could only choose one of these two dream getaways, would it be to go see your favorite band late night, or to sunrise, or do a session of sunrise paddleboard yoga?
I'm going to go with the music, man.
Okay, good. All right.
Staying away
from a little bit here. Very good. Okay.
Staying away from the paddleboard. Yeah.
All right. This, whatever your answer is, will be a two-part question. This will be two questions. So first part, beer or wine?
Beer.
Okay. Porter or IPA?
IPA.
IPA. Okay. And final question, Proper Royals, hot or not, baby?
Hot.
All right.
Hot.
There we go.
Definitely hot.
All right. Thank you. That was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. No. Don't forget to like, share, follow.
Definitely.
Subscribe.
All of that. And turn that whole segment into a reel and put it out there.
Yeah.
All right. How'd I do?
That's excellent. Excellent. So good. So good. And the audience can't hear Jamie and I, by the way. When we're backstage like that, you can hear us, but no one else can.
Talking back to you and nobody else. Yeah, sorry. I'm just talking into the abyss. They're like, what?
Yeah, we do
Adam's
it all
cup
the time.
There.
Dude, we do it all the time, and we're on here every week, and we're still talking between each other like a bunch of clowns. But
forgot about that.
Perfect. That went far better than my expectations by eons. That was so good.
Well, okay.
And I'm glad I wasn't in there. I'll be honest. I'm glad it was Jason. So
thank you for putting up with me. That was fun.
It was a blast. No. Very, very well constructed. What do you want? A rapid fire session of it too, with the iron fist. Even you stepped right into the role.
It's the hot seat. You can't mess around, right? You got to answer and move on and live with your life choices in there.
I was completely relaxed when I went in, and when he got done laying down the rules, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be rough.
Right? Like I'm not going to come out of this.
I mean, well, otherwise it would take 40 minutes, right? Like you could just say you got to get through it and hand the show back over to the hosts here.
Right.
No, it was totally perfect, man. And thank you for obliging us with that. I was asking something of you that was a little bit last minute, but you're completely up to the task and raised the bar.
That was cool. I don't know about that, but thank you. It was cool. I had fun. Anytime.
Yeah, it was awesome. I forget where the heck we were before we came into that. What were we touching on?
The new facility is full. No more equipment. Oh, displays. So I do want to redo my table covers, and I'll probably replace that banner and update that one a little bit. But otherwise, not too much as far as displays for next year. I'm pretty happy. I actually prefer the modular pop-up banners because some shows you're vending, if you have two tables, you're at a right angle. Sometimes you're on a wall. Sometimes you're facing away from the entrance. And one of my big beliefs is that I always want a banner facing the entrance. So if I'm facing the other way, I can slap one of those pop-up banners behind it. You never really know how the tables are laid out. And if you got one of those great big 8 or 10 foot backdrops, you might be a poor neighbor, you might get a bad rap, you run into space issues, or you have to cock it at a certain angle because the promoter says this side's yours and that side's theirs, and then it just looks like crap anyway. So I use 3 of those pop-up banners, and I can shift and change them, and then I use spotlights, and I can get real obnoxious with the lighting. I'll make sure. No, I mean, I say it tongue in cheek, but I always will make sure that I'm seen, and I even bring a table to set the banners up. So I mean, I can get a good 12 feet in the air above the crowd too. You know,
the ones we've seen, your stuff always looks great.
Thank you.
What would you say of your sales, because you do a lot, even though a lot of the shows you're doing are fairly local to us, I would say, but what's the percentage of your sales that are come from the vending versus Morph market, or just people that that you're selling to?
I don't know off the top of my head. A very significant portion come from the sales. I really like. I was talking about this with Shane Kelly from Small Town Exotics. I personally really like eye-catching snakes, and sort of my business model is snakes that are from like $300 to $500 pay most of my bills and provide the cash flow to invest in some of the bigger projects.
Right.
But I've never, for me, this is just for me, there's plenty of people that have been successful at it. I've never been the kind of business person or investor to go, all right, I'm going to drop 50 or 100 grand and then over the next 10 years make that back. I want that 50 or 100 or however much money I have. I want that working for me in investment accounts or whatever. So I will make and sell as eye-catchingly beautiful animals as I can, as many as I can, to create cash flow in that $300 to $500 range. And then I'll use those for my investment animals, because I do want to sell the 10 and however many $1,000 animals, but I'm not going to spend $100 grand to try to sell my first $1,000 animal. It's just, I can't do that. Other people do it great, and they're very, very successful at it. I don't have the stomach for it. I also have a wife, son, mortgages. Well, I mean, respectfully, there's some 20-year-olds that, whether they borrowed it, got investors, inherited it, however they came, crypto, however they came into the money. If I didn't have a wife, son, and mortgages, I might do that. I'm not saying I'm not saying anybody should. I'm not saying even I would. But at a different place in different life, maybe I would. But it just doesn't work for me. So back to the main point, though. Those $300 to $500. Let's take a leopard banana clown, for example. If I put that on Morph Market, it's probably not going to sell because Morph Market attracts more of a breeder-focused mentality than a pet or first-time pet owner mentality. And that's not a knock on Morph Market, but if somebody's looking for their first, second, or third ball python and they go, this is a reptile classifieds ad, I don't really know the person I'm buying from. Oh, you're going to put it in a box overnight and I'm going to hope it gets here. And, my little noodle that I'm going to boop its snoot has to live in a box through Memphis. That doesn't sound good. A show is a great place to sell really, really good-looking animals to future breeders, just above that pet level, in my opinion. And I do really, really well in that space. And then in the facility, I have shout out to Chris at BNS. He's a business partner in many ways, but he and I own an animal that I think there's only one other of in the world, and that's a rainbow clown. So it's not that I want to sell banana leopard clowns all my life. However, that is one of those animals that you look at and you go, is that a cartoon? How is that possibly real? And it stops people at the shows. They ask questions. They want to understand about it. And it's also, I'll use a female example. I move those at around $375 is how I, right now in this market right now, that's how I've been pricing those. It's an amazing looking pet if they want that. It's an amazing looking, hey, I'm going to step up from a normal because I have one of those at home. And that being a banana leopard and a visual recessive as a female, in 2 years, if they're really hooked going, man, I'm in this now, that's actually a decent breeder female to jumpstart other really cool looking projects. And so I think that market space is really, really attractive to me. So for those reasons, the shows are incredibly vital to what I do. Now, if I produce a pied head hypo, head axanthic, unless I just want to sell it as a pied, I need to take it elsewhere. I need to I need to really push it on Instagram, put it on Morph Market, showcase it and talk about it in Palm Street Live, that kind of thing. So different things for different market segments for me.
I love that you used an example that Jason is completely excluded from because he picked Enchi over banana.
The banana?
So. You know what I mean? So
I didn't do it on purpose, but yes, that's true.
That's beautiful work. Beautiful work. Just to hammer the point home, I could see it kind of coming through as like, you gave up banana for Enchi? I'm going to use that in the next example, Jason. I'm
surprised he didn't say, because I got this Enchi at home that I want to replace instead of this normal. Kind of missed out on an opportunity there, but still not bad.
Could I interest you in some breeder Enchis over here? Yeah.
Right.
No, obviously every gene has its place, and there's a reason everything has that Enchi's been around forever. But no, I mean the beauty of those hot seat questions is that there's no real right or wrong answer. You know,
right,
so that's like the sweet spot of hot seat questions.
Well, so, I would argue that yoga paddleboard might be a wrong answer in that example. I mean, I
wanted to stretch the spectrum, see how far we could, how far we could push the limit on that.
I was heading right for the beach until we got into yoga and paddle boards, and I'm like, man, he ruined it, and now I got to go to the concert.
So I have done both, not on the same vacation though. That I will have to say, and I'm not so good at the yoga part, but I do. We were talking about fishing. In North Carolina at the property that I worked at there, we were on a lake, and I would fly fish off of paddle boards, which was fantastic. You can get where other boats can't. It's beautifully quiet, man. There's something about being on a lake at sunrise fishing, man. It's just flat and little fog. It's beautiful.
Yeah, paddleboard's amazing. It was the yoga part that lost me. I just can't bend anymore.
I had to throw some. I was like, what would be a little comical to add here?
Yeah, so. Perfect.
Even the yoga, I don't. But I'm not doing yoga on a paddle.
On the paddle.
It's out of the question, man.
I'm getting hurt in that scenario. I'm getting hurt.
I was going to say that's actually code for just swimming. That's what that is. You're just going to be swimming. You're going to be swimming in your yoga gear is what you're going to be
low diving.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but perfect examples of use case scenario where you're talking about, hey, where do you get your bang for your buck with your collection, your ability to produce, Morph Market versus the vending versus in person. I mean, you gave all of the highlight examples of why those work for a certain person better than another. So topics, we don't really have a great way with guests kind of in a revolving door to touch on, and you're covering these really, really well for people, especially kind of in our viewership and the people coming in to watch this stuff later are going to be, or at least in our opinion, a lot of starter people aside from the great people that come out every week with tons of experience to watch the show. That's the audience that's most likely going to see this stuff on review. So awesome way to cover those topics and show the variety of examples of how you can make this work in a number of different ways. And there isn't a right answer. Right. There's a right answer for you. Right. So
yeah, I think so. And I think something I believe in and I practice, it's almost like the joke rule. If you have to explain the joke, maybe it's not as funny as you think it is. And if you have to explain why something is so cool, you got to really, in a ball python combo or morph, maybe you really, really got to stop and think what or why or what is the purpose. And if you have a good answer, that's okay. And a lot of hets fall into that. But it's part of why I'm so hot on this scrambler, whether it's a gene, whether it's a combo, whether it's a line. you don't have to explain why a scrambler is cool.
Right.
You just, in my opinion, you just see it. And my definition of that would be sort of the spectrum of color, contrast, and pattern. And Scrambler is high on all three of those, at least with Super Orange Dream and some calico stuff we've seen with Pied, with Hypopide. So I think that the future is really bright for Scrambler. And I don't really have an opinion on what the prices are right now because I'm not that worried about it because yes, you can remake Scrambler easier, whether it's a combo or whether it's a dominant trait or whatever people think it is. It is recreatable, but you can complicate anything any way you want. You can put it in Ultramel, you can put it in Axanthic, you can put it however, you can make it as complicated as you want. So there'll always be a high end, but if it's an amazing eye-catching combo that you don't have to explain why it's so amazing, that is, man, that's the gold mine right there, I think. And like if you... I don't know, what's a really nerdy, I like Monsoon. I'm not against Monsoon. But if I get 1,000 people that have never seen a ball python and I pull out a Super Orange Dream Scrambler and I pull out a Monsoon, I think I know where most of those people are going to go. So this Monsoon market is our kind of echo chamber, and that's totally cool to be. The echo chambers are cool, man. I'd go into a guitar forum and watch me type away about Gibson Les Pauls from 1976 to 1982. Phenomenal era. I love it. That's a pretty limited niche. So you can have your sort of cake and eat it too. You just got to think about how it's all going to work for you, you know?
Yeah.
And I watched your show last night where you did a little bit of a solo run, and that came up. Yep. And I loved some of the topic that was touched on there. If you didn't see it, guys, go back and watch Adam's show last night.
Thank you.
You kind of touched on why it's really not critical for you that there's a lot of hems and haws about Scrambler out there too. Is it even a gene? Right. Is it part of... OD that's coming with OD? Is it something in a particular line of OD that just looks a little better? I don't think you can argue that when you see the examples. I mean, we've seen OD, we've seen Super OD, we've seen a lot of these combos without it, and then we see it with it, and there's something there, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and I'll cut right to the bone, which maybe you were respectfully dancing around. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't need to explain to 99 people what it is. I need them to go, holy smokes, that thing is amazing. Can I afford it or not? And how do I get that? Oh, by the way, how do you make that? Well, you take this and you breed it. By all accounts, everything in it is dominant. So at least it's the easiest path. I think it's great. The market will figure it out. You can always go up in complications. We can make it expensive later, but I don't think it'll ever have to be propped up as expensive. And that's again, beauty in the eye of the beholder and all that, but I love it, man. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Where I don't see the big value and I don't see the market influence of the gene itself is in that single form. But let's be honest. I mean, you made another, again, I hate to just keep genuflecting to your information prior, but you made a great point of it comparable to lace. Like in its single form, is it doing a lot? No, but you look at the best examples with lace and without, it's pretty obvious what lace is doing there, right? And same thing with Scrambler in my mind anyways. I imagine the two extremely comparable.
I think
the lace animal is worth a lot more in that combination than without. That's where Scrambler finds its place, I feel like, too. I don't think Scrambler is going to do a ton by itself, but an animal with it on that complex end is going to be worth a lot more than the one that doesn't have it.
I completely agree with that. I would say, I guess I would say two things. Anybody listening to this, don't take anything I say as like your business decision of what you should go do. Make your own decision on it. But the other thing to think of is there's going to be I called it a lace moment last night. There's going to be a lace moment with Scrambler where people have invested a lot of money in some bright, great looking animals, which is a great reason to spend a lot of money. If it's a great looking animal, then love it for it being great and figure out how to recreate it, whether it's line breeding that or whatever it is. But I fear that there's going to be a wave, or maybe there already is a wave of people going, this is a pretty cool looking Orange Dream, something or other. This is Scrambler. This is a pretty cool, bright looking Pied something. This is a Scrambler. I'm a little worried about that. So, and it comes with the territory. It comes with being an early adopter, all those things. That time is going to come whenever the geneticists do figure out what it is, I think. Now, here's the weird thing about it. And I say the geneticists, I work with Charlie at Shed Testing and Phenome. They really haven't quite really figured out what Orange Dream is. There's a biomarker for it, and I'm not enough of a geneticist to know the difference between a biomarker and a DNA certainty. There's a reason why shedtesting.com on the website doesn't offer an Orange Dream test, and it's not because Charlie's slacking. So we say that the geneticists will figure it out. Maybe they won't, and maybe it's just a beautiful animal that we've figured out how to recreate and line breed, and we get back to a market of consumers that just like eye-catching, beautiful, living art that we all got into this in the first place for.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And that is the thing too, is obviously this is not a one-off. This isn't something that you see in a few select animals. This is passable. So we have that portion of it to at least go by. So if you're seeing it for yourself, you take that as your enough information to invest or to look toward that product. That's really all you need, right? I mean, as long as you're able to reproduce that look that you're intrigued with, I don't think the test really needs to differentiate that necessarily. It's going to be your stock that comes from those animals that speak for itself to some degree.
Yeah, and like what a way to win a debate, just to go, hang on, and to open a tub, and to open a tub and go.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't care what you guys call it. You call it whatever you want.
Right.
But in all respectful seriousness too, it's accredited to Mark Mandic as the person that isolated or whatever the right word is, proved or brought to light, not created because nature created it. I put a lot of stock if Mark Mandic says it's a gene and he's naming it. That is Mark Mandic of Marcus Jane. So that's the MJ Xanthic line. That's Blade. That is there's one other.
He's got several out there. Java. I mean,
he's
got
Java's out there as well. So you could do worse. You could trust worse people in the industry by a long shot, and that's unfair to him. He is a gem. And anyway, so get your lineage as close to Mark Mandic or directly from as you can. And that's not, and let me be really, really clear. None of that's a knock on or a discredit to Chris Hernan. I don't know Chris Hernan. Those animals he's producing are, to all the points I've just made, those animals are phenomenal that he's producing. Yeah. I have no reason to doubt him. I don't know him. I don't know the history or the lineage of his lines. So I believe
same source though. I believe they both came from Mandic stuff. He just went a different direction maybe than Mark, or I could be wrong.
I can't speak to it. I don't know, and I didn't. So Mark was on my show, and then in September I had an opportunity to go to Toronto and go to his home and his facility and really talk one-on-one and spend some time talking about the project with him. So I have that, but we did not get to anything personal or specific about Chris and the snakes that he's producing. And again, if we say, the best way to win a debate, open the tub, let's see that snake. Chris Hernan's he's gonna win some debates. So I got nothing none of this is about anti anything like him, because he's an obvious person to bring up. He's doing amazing things with Scrambler as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and fantastic animals. We had Chris on too, and I don't know that we ever touched on that. I don't know that we touched on where the Scrambler came from and this stuff. I know he did get a lot of stuff from Ozzy to start off his Orange Dream stuff. Separated that on his own in his offspring. The way he put that story down was super interesting. When he'd see certain offspring, he'd separate that as, visually to him looked different, to pull out things like the high ODs and the stuff from a standard Orange Dream. So a lot of that stuff going on in collections. And do you really know at some point where the origin of things are? If it carried in with a specific animal in a batch, it's very tough to track, right? So
it is tough to track. And I have a neat, the show that I do has brought me a lot of opportunities and relationships. And like I say, I love going to people's facilities and learning from them and talking with them. And a lot of times some of those conversations are just private. And I always respect that. I don't, people stop having private conversations with me. I will leave it at, I think Scrambler popped up or came up from Mark before Ozzy.
Yeah.
As far as Scrambler goes, not as far as Orange Dream goes. Now, as far as where Chris Hernan got his stock from, I don't know that. And like I say, there was a conversation. I don't want to share other people's business, so I don't know if that's private or not. So I can't share it. But I would just say that I think on the topic of Scrambler, I don't think it came from Ozzy's collection. I think Ozzy is probably rightly really excited about it, especially given his history with Orange Dream and the incredible success he had with that. So that's where I would leave that at, I guess. Mark got it from Ozzy. That's what Pie Man says. Again, from a private conversation I heard, my impression was that wasn't it, but I'm not sure. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I honestly can't say with any certainty and don't know. I do know that some of the better examples, some of the things we did kind of count on as being reliable. I hate to air quote everything I say, but like, that's why we did go to Mandic to get our Scrambler stuff to start. So,
and that was my ultimate point to everybody, is just be cognizant of maybe where and what Scrambler you're buying. And I'm even hesitant to say that because maybe this time next year I'm peddling Scrambler and they're going, "Well, you said not to buy it," So like, you know what I mean? But just have those conversations, and at the end of the day, you got to feel comfortable with what you're buying. And I hope and I own some from Antoine at DPR, who is up the road a little bit ways, but his stock is from Mark Mandic as well.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah, he
was again, it's a little bit of a private conversation, but he was very reasonable and down to earth of saying, "Here's the best I understand. These are the beautiful animals I can produce. It's different than Orange Dream. It's different than any Super Orange Dream." Again, Antoine produces amazing stuff. He's the cantaloupe and gorilla guy himself. If he says there's something here, we don't know 100% yet, and I've factored that into the pricing consideration. But again, here's the animal.
Right.
Okay, Antoine, I think I'm interested in a couple of those from you. So I've got some from Antoine, and I've got a breeder male, actually still on the way from, I haven't seen it in person yet, but on the way from Mark Mandic as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So you're in Scrambler now, obviously, after all of this.
Yeah, I know.
You have it.
Haven't done anything with it other than look at it, but I have it. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, don't drop anything out there that is like a, what do you want to call it, a secret squirrel project, or what do you really want to do with it in your side of things? Where do you see Scrambler working for you in its best light?
I have this theory that I'm not sure where the language barriers on the show are, but I think it's pretty loose. Ideas are shit. It's whoever comes up and does it. So steal away. I don't care. Just steal the idea. If you can do it faster, better, cheaper than me, you're going to win, and you're going to have a formidable competitor as I'm trying to do it. So no secrets is what I'm saying. So I'm a big believer in trying to maximize an opportunity that comes along. So the animal that I got from, or that I am getting from Mark Mandic, is a hypo-pied Super Orange Dream Scrambler.
Nice.
Breeder male, very powerful in my opinion. So some no-brainers are a really interesting holdback Orange Dream het-pied female. That's a no-brainer. Let's just recreate some of these things, except they'll be head hypo. No problem there. I have Ultramel pieds. that's an intriguing project to me.
Yes.
We got orange.
I really want to see it there. Yes.
Right. So, and with the hypo on top, that's just icing on the cake, almost literally or figuratively, certainly figuratively, but the icing part of it. So I want to do that. And then my own personal project that I really love is gravel and super gravel. I don't know what it'll do in there. I'm going to find out. If nothing else, gravel will bring heightened contrast, brightness, and kind of a golden hue to it. So gravel in the single form, I don't think could be bad. Gravel in the super form with it, I don't know what kind of, talk about scrambled. I don't know what would come out of that. So, but I want to find out. That's up my alley. And then I'm starting this, and we always stand on the shoulders of giants kind of thing. I'm starting to see some, the original clown or the first batch of clown scramblers, I wouldn't say weren't that exciting. They were okay. I don't know that I was going to put a whole lot of effort into it. And then I started to see some of the Orange Dream and the Super Orange Dream clown scramblers. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm back. I'm in. I am there. But one of my favorite projects as well is Ultramel Clown. And I know a lot of people will roll their eyes at this. I don't know what will happen with it. But pinstripe in Ultramel Clown is one of the most golden orange animals I've ever seen. And that golden orange with the kind of orange that I'm seeing from the Super Orange Dream Scramblers, I want to see that. And I want to merge those. So, but those are 3, 5, 8, 10-year projects there. So those will keep me busy, but I'm excited about it. And again, when I see the value at maybe not the single gene, but attainable combos that aren't recessive driven, can you imagine the byproducts of missing these things? Oh, right. Exactly. Oh, darn. Yeah. I got an Orange Dream Scrambler. Heck, Clown had Ultramel. Oh, right. I could be so lucky to have a byproduct like that, right? So
don't forget Het Pied.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just excited. I think there's a lot of opportunity. So I think we get caught up in, here's this most amazing, obscure, recessive thing. Well, how about this really cool, attainable thing that we can make as complicated as we want? Because then, like I say, the byproducts are going to be really, really just eye-popping, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you touched on some things that people kind of put to the back of their brain in chasing those recessive combo stacks is we don't know what a lot of these incompletes do with each other. So like you're racing so hard to get that triple recessive that you have no idea, like Scrambler and Blackhead. What does that? Blackhead brings out a ton of really dark reds in certain combos. Scrambler's an orange enhancer. Where does that land on the scale? Mm-hmm. But you're never going to see that in a triple recessive until way down the road when you've kind of brought all of those incompletes back together in that triple. So you're forgoing a lot of visual things on the incomplete side to chase that multi-recessive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not always the case. We're starting to see that now, right? 4 incompletes in a double recessive. We've seen a lot of that, but
yeah. And I think it's almost like going back to complete your work. Like we got to some point, but we raced so fast. I say I didn't do anything, but people as a hobby, as an industry, we raced so fast to get to a certain point. We did ourselves a disservice, or we left so many gaps along the way. And the number of mathematical combinations are just astounding of what's out there. There's so little done. Even as much as we've all done, there's so little that's done. And that gives me the optimism where I don't have to worry about, oh no, did somebody else get this or did somebody else do that? Oh, for Pete's sake, get creative, put anything more. All right, fine. Take their work and put one more like you say, incomplete dominant in it, or put one more bit of inspiration of your own vision into it. It'll be fine. You're going to, no problem. So, and we didn't talk about either what happens. Like most of what we talked about was like this brightening glow, but we also know brightening things with the darkening genes do cool stuff. What about, a darkening gene that has some orange hues in it, like a black pastel or a Barnard black pastel. Give me
Absolutely.
that. I want to figure that out, Yeah. So I see it as an exciting gold mine, and I've honestly not been really, and it sounds funny, I'm incredibly excited about gravel as well. I think one day that's what I want to be known as, was the super gravel as a recessive project guy. But man, Scrambler's right there. It checks a lot of those same boxes, like, again, color, pattern, and contrast. How high can you get each of those sort of mixers, So I'm excited about it.
For sure.
Absolutely. That's awesome to hear. And I'm excited to see across the aisle from us at some of these local shows that Scrambler stuff you're bringing,
I want to see what you guys bring. Let's just make like a glowing lane that people have to walk. Right. It'll be undefeated, man. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. I mean, we have that stuff pairing up. We don't have a ton of I always say it in the wrong way. We don't have a ton of exciting new combos. Again, not putting it with things that haven't been seen, but for us will be fantastic.
Right.
But product. Almost same identical animal we grabbed from Mark. When was that, Jay? Back in spring.
Yeah, it's past spring.
Yeah, somewhere in there, but yeah, almost the same animal you're talking about. He had Java in there, so it was a OD, nice. Super OD, Java, Scrambler, Hypopide, male.
Hello, there you go.
So super crazy pattern, pattern head to tail. There's very few white spots on the thing at all. Hypo in there, Pied in there, and we already had from Jamie's stuff, because she's always been a Pied person, tons of female Pied to plug in.
There you go.
A lot of that was already had hypo. So, I mean, it works in our favor to have just the one in that route, but we grabbed Scrambler and the clown side too from him. So
cool.
I am curious to see what that does with more of the darks, like you say.
Yeah.
Leopard in there, Stranger in there, things like Black Pastel and the clown with that Scrambler to draw more of that orange. Even Hurricane. I think Hurricane's one that's been skipped a lot with Scrambler, but boy, they seem to be, I don't know, that just seems made for each other.
That's
in
true.
my mind.
Well, and something that's neat is somebody somewhere is going to get rewarded for taking the big risk with this. Somebody's going to get rewarded for going, all right, enough with the Orange Dream stuff. What does this gene do with these other things? And that's hard to do. These are expensive animals. These are significant purchases. And so sticking with the known and sprinkling something on top of that is much, much easier to do and to stomach than to go, let's see what Scrambler does. And I'm not going to be the guy that finds out what it does in Xanthic. Somebody will, and it might be amazing. But I'm not going to be the guy to do it, So, but somebody is going to get rewarded with what they stumble on. And I mean, I think what we're seeing is the proof of that with Mark and Chris Hernan's work. I mean, they figured it out. I don't knock them for taking their money. They did it. They figured it out. So that's a neat thing in my mind as well to think about and to get inspired by.
For sure, absolutely.
You mentioned, you kind of referred to it a couple of times, but we didn't ever go into it. But I personally would like to know, because I don't know really anything about it, Palm Street, and I know you're fairly involved in it. So what can you tell us about it?
Okay, so first things first, full transparency, I work with Palm Street. I'm compensated by them. With that being said, I will tell you why. And something I'm very proud of is that I've never signed on to endorse a product or a company or an advertiser just for the paycheck. I got to know them. They got to fit my my brand beliefs, and there's got to be an alignment there. So couple things. One that is the easiest thing to say is that it's a live streaming, live selling platform. So it's really, really geared at reaching buyers on a vertical portrait phone of content, very similar to the way that TikTok interacts with people. And people have, and then your shops and your items are integrated in there. The payment systems are integrated. not to put it against anything, but like you can't bid or buy an item unless you pay for it through the store. So there's no more of the, are you going to pay with Cash App? Can you send it friends and family? It just all feels sketchy. And we know as sort of industry experienced people, that's not necessarily sketchy, but for a first time buyer, that seems pretty sketchy,
Yeah.
I
remember my first purchase, and I was like, "Huh,
yeah,
am I ever going to see this?
Do I ever get this thing? Yeah.
And what recourse is there if I send it to and just trust me? So it's all integrated in Palm Street. So you literally can't buy anything unless you purchase it through there, and you have to have an account and your wallet populated and all that. And it's done quick. There's tons of sites like that. It's much easier than Amazon or eBay to get started on. So it's very easy that way. But what I really like about it is the interactive nature. I don't think, and it welcomes reptiles. You don't have to talk in code. You don't have to put an airplane emoji and say, message me. No, you start your live and you go, here's the animals I'm selling. What questions do you have? They have over 200,000 unique monthly users and well over 5 million downloads of the app. So it is, imagine it almost like a virtual Main Street. So it's called Palm Street because it started as a plant seller. But there's all these little niches, plants, various collectibles, artisanal crafts that people are making themselves, crystals, trading cards, purses, shoes, Labubu dolls, all this stuff. And geckos, ball pythons, inverts are on there kind of blowing up. And the creativity that you could see with all the different people's stores. They do live auctions. The auctions are really neat because I think the longest you can run an auction for is 2 minutes. And I'm sure that people that have never heard this before are going, 2 minutes? Get in and get out. Let's go. But the cool thing is, like, you advertise your live and your show when you're going to have it. And again, there's 200,000 users. So if you can have 200-300 eyeballs on your auction, let's just get down to business. Nobody's bidding until the last second anyway. Talk about it for 2 minutes. Let's get some bids. And it does they protect the sniping and all that. So it's going to extend on the last bid. I'm not a big auction guy. I can have whatever feelings I want about them. They're here to stay. It's just part of the business now. I don't prefer to sell my items at auction. Very good for the buyers. I get it, but not great for the sellers. So there's a time and a place for it. That's a different conversation. I don't even want to get into it. But you can have a store that's populated on Palm Street as well. And actually, my Husbandry Pro export, I just used to upload and do the mass upload on Palm Street, and shipping is integrated. I shipped out via Redline today, purchased the label through Palm Street on an animal that I sold on Tuesday, went out this morning, and that's off to Michigan today. So that's Palm Street. The fees on it it's free to use. You don't pay anything until you sell something. And then the commission can fluctuate a little bit based on how much you sell, how many viewers you get to your live, but it's around 9%. So some people are really bothered. They're like, that's 9%. Well, if you spend $300 or $500 a year on Morph Market, are you selling more than $3,000 to $5,000 a year? Because if you're not, you're paying a higher percentage. Or if our regional local tables, I think I pay around $200 for most of the shows that I vend. $2,000 is usually a pretty good show, but I don't always get there. So that means I paid more than 10% and had to travel and paid the gas. Maybe I've gone to get a hotel. If it's out of town in Fargo, I've had to eat 2-3 meals on the road. So it's all in how you look at it. Everybody's going to get paid somewhere, and every service is going to have a fee. But I like it. It's been around for over 5 years now, and the platform is it's sleek, it's intuitive. I don't know, I'm kind of an old dude. I'm 45. It feels pretty hip though. Like there's cool stuff happening on it, and I really enjoy it. So check it out. And on my YouTube channel, there's some tutorial kind of, evergreen content, getting started, how I run an auction, tips and tricks, my top 5 things to sell on Palm Street. That kind of content is there.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
The export and import into there. So from husbandry, not details of it, but what is that like? Is it like smooth and easy, or do you have to finagle some things? And
they are not affiliated with each other. Let me be clear, because I actually do work with both companies, and I'm sure Husbandry Pro is going, no, we have our own platform. It's called Reptile Ads, and that's fine.
Right.
So one of the things I like, but it's also can be seen as a fault of Palm Street, is their listings are very, very simple. So and again, there's good and bad. So I'll take you through both scenarios. So if you go to create an animal on Morph Market, you have about, 20 fields, 25 fields. What's the unique animal? Is it a male or female? What does it eat? What does it weigh? What do you call it? What are the genes? What's the price to ship? What's the wholesale price? What's the, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot there, right? Palm Street is, what are you selling? How much is it? What's your shipping? And do you want to put up a picture? So shipping you set for your account. So what I do on Husbandry Pro is, and one of the great things about Husbandry Pro is you can sort all your data in more, I was going to say 99 ways. You could sort your data in all the ways possible and then some. So I export, speaking of fields, anytime for various reasons, but anytime I enter an animal into Husbandry Pro, there's a animal and then there's a descriptor. And I don't actually know which one I use, but I make them redundant, but I include the genes and the sex in that title. So let's just use the same. Yeah. The animal from before: leopard, clown, banana, female. When I export that, I'll use the column that has the descriptor. So that Palm Street will ask me, what column of information do you want to put in this field? Okay, column B or whatever that is. And then I'll export it the price. Boom, there's the price. And then Husbandry Pro, you can do a Morph Market. They're not affiliated, but they have a Morph Market specific export that has URL links to the pictures, and Palm Street understands those links. So you take that column. So you have a 3-column spreadsheet. You upload that, and you can do that from the back office. Nearly everything is on the phone, but there is a seller hub on Palm Street, and you could do that. And that, let me tell you, gentlemen, that was the easiest 68 animals I have ever uploaded anywhere. Man, done, populated, and off and running immediately. Now, the downside is you can't go to Palm Street and go, show me all the banana het clowns out there.
Right.
No, you could probably search it on keywords, perhaps, but I don't know. So like even when I'm doing my live, I've found that because I'm like, hey, everything's for sale, so put everything in my live store. But if I want to like highlight it, I just have to sit there in no particular order. I'm like, crap, where's that animal? So I'm still refining my own strategy on Palm Street. It's kind of an early adopter situation in the reptile community. What I would say to people is if you try it, don't expect to get rich on your first episode. You could choose if you want to sell things or not. You could choose the reserves, but go learn. Just like you would say on your very first expo that you vend, you're not going to make life decisions on that one expo. You're going to say, all right, I put some time in here. I put some mental equity into this. Let me learn about it. Let me figure out how to have it grow. But in the past 2 weeks, I do one live a week on Tuesdays when I'm just cleaning in the shop and working. And I've sold an animal at retail on both of those times, which that's a pretty good day of cleaning snake poop if I can sell an animal at retail while I'm cleaning, right? So what is the percentage of reptile on the platform? Very low. It is a plant-driven platform. Here's what I like about it. I like a lot about it. I've been talking about what I like about it. Here's what I like on that topic about it. Well, again, nice, easy round number, 200,000 users. Those users are there with a purchasing mindset. And also, I say this adoringly, and I say this looking in the mirror, they're wired as weird as we are, man. They're talking about plants the way that we talk about ball pythons. They're talking about collectibles the way that we talk about ball pythons. They want to know I don't know. I don't even know how to speak plant, but the variegated, propagation. I don't know. I'm just making up words now. But those traits are there. So these are our people. And again, if I can get one of them to go, what in the hell are these people selling on Palm Street? Snakes? You could come into the shop. You come into the live. It's not private. I hope when they come in, I'm holding up a scrambler and they go, holy smokes, what? Well, hang on. I might not want one of those yet, but I want to know about one of those.
Or I would love to put that in my vivarium.
That's right, with their plant, And I mean, I know it's a little bit funny, but I mean it in total seriousness. They don't know about our inner drama that I wish none of us knew about. Like, I don't want that to be saddled with that. They don't know about supposed crashes and fluctuations. They just know that these are cool looking animals. And again, you're interacting live, so you could show off your cleanliness or show off your in-floor heat or what. You could show off the care that defines your brand, which you can't really do on static classified listings, So I'm excited about it. I think there's opportunity. Nothing's easy. We'd all be rich if it was, but I think there's opportunity there.
For sure.
Well, and I think as a fair testament to them too, they are taking a lot of initiative on their side to grow the reptile side of that. I mean, you're seeing them at the different expos. You're seeing them actively pursue that market, which kind of has to give you a little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling that, hey, they're behind this too. They really want this to work as well, and they're going to make whatever adjustments they can from their side to make that profitable for them too. So,
couple quick stats. One of the original investors of PayPal is an investor in Palm Street. Earlier this year, they raised $25 million. They had already been functioning for 5 years. They just raised $25 million to invest in their platform. Snake Discovery is using Palm Street to move their adoptions and selling animals. Josh's Frogs just announced that they'll be selling on Palm Street. Rice Reptiles, Jersey Guys Balls, myself. Nobody's out there giving their time to charity just to hope it gets off the ground. Like, they see value in it somewhere. It's going to get figured out, is my pitch. So, we'll see. I don't know. Lord knows I've been wrong in my life. So this could be another one of those times. We'll see.
Well, look, I think it's kind of inevitable. There are going to have to be different branches on the tree to draw from. And I think that is a fantastically structured branch to put some weight on. I really do. And get that thing to sprout out as far as it can, because we don't have a lot of that. I say we, and it's such a generic term, but if you look at what the reptile industry has, we have our structure of expos.
Right.
We've got our things like Morph Market, and everything else is kind of just ear to mouth, and there isn't this structure of something really trying to propel or push it more so on the commercial side. You know what I mean?
And it's in all of our benefits to have more competition. If everybody is just going to be lazy and go, we're just going to go, and nothing against Morph Market, but if everybody's just going to go with Morph Market because it's already set up, we all end up on the losing end of that because there's zero competition. That's the way that always goes. So the more people that get into Palm Street or whatever other avenues are out there, the more Palm Street's going to put into, hey, we should cater more to what do the reptile people need? What kind of changes do you need? They're not going to do that. Sorry, Adam. But if it's just Adam on there, right? If there's a bunch of reptile
you're
people
exactly right. Yeah, say it again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if we get a bunch of people on there, they're going to be interested because it's a growing market for them. They're going to say, "What do you guys need?" Well, we need to be able to search by gene. Okay,
right.
That's pretty simple to work in there. But
so here's a quick one. I think you can answer, just a rough. I think you mentioned it's like a 9%, right? So you're looking at about $90, somewhere in there.
Well, on 10 grand, it would be $1,000. Yeah, you're looking at just under 10%. If you get more than 100 people to bookmark, you're live, it goes down 1%. And then there's tiers of sales that you hit that actually bring it down too. I've not been fortunate enough to hit any of those tiers yet. I don't know what those tiers are. I'm not sure. How do I put it? I don't know where the person would have had the opportunity to get 10 grand in one pop. So like, and I don't know that seller, so I can't speak to that seller. I'm familiar with Brian at Altitude Exotics, a crested gecko, kind of the guy, as far as I understand, with crested geckos. His lives are getting like 30, 40 grand in revenue. It's one of those things, yeah, the fee sounds like a lot of money. Mm-hmm. If I still got 36 grand in my pocket, you could take my $3,400 as a fee to give me, so sure, I like it as in here's what I like, and this isn't. I do business with tons of companies that you have to pay up front for. This is not knocking that. Their time is worth something. I'll be the first to say that. No problem. Whether I sell a penny or not on Morph Market, I don't get my $300 or $500 a year back or the 800 Pro tier back. Let me make it fair. I don't get my Husbandry Pro subscription back, or they host my website, properroyals.com. I don't get those hosting fees back if I don't sell anything. That's a risk I take. And they're providing a service. I will pay them for their service. It's fine. It's fair. But I do like that Palm Street is incentivized to do nothing but make sure that I sell, because they don't get a penny of mine unless I do sell something.
Right.
That's kind of refreshing, especially without a subscription, without a contract, anything. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Walk away whenever you want. So that's the way that's what I would say about it. Some people, I don't know. It's weird. Like when you advertise, you start catching like people's feedback, and I'm like, I'm not Palm Street, but hey, that's cool. And I've gotten some weird passionate feedback of like that these fees are ridiculous, and I'm like, are you doing better than the 9%? Like just right. Maybe you are, and maybe it isn't worth that, but I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And man, I don't know what it is, the gecko people and all the species of geckos, they are crushing it. They are just destroying it. Man,
Jamie,
it's incredible.
Okay, we'll have to bring Jamie out for that then, because you just said gecko. That's the key word for Jamie to come out of the backstage. But
I could try selling some geckos on Palm Street.
I mean, it's fun. It's interactive. It's doing what we've been doing for the past 2 hours with a shop attached, and where the audience can give you money and you give them a gecko. It is primo. It's cool.
So, and I think we're kind of we did hint at it, but I don't think we said it as directly as it could be said. For what we all talk about on all these podcasts is, how do we grow this community? How do we grow this community? How do we get more new people in this? And let's face it, you, I, all of the different breeders out there can't take out a commercial on, mid whatever Premier League. I think you mentioned on our last podcast, if you're watching a soccer game, guess who can? Palm Street. Yeah. And if we're active in things like that, where that company's incentivized to advertise, hey, we do reptiles, we do plants, we can't do those kind of global marketing things that a company that size can. So if you're not in there propping that up, pushing that along, and actively trying to grow that, we'll never get access to that on our own two legs. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they leverage some real strength. And, I'm kind of towing some of the advertiser company lines, but let me step away from that for just a second. I like that there's competition in platforms and selling spaces. It keeps people honest. It keeps people innovating. Better products, better results come for the consumers. But I have not heard, and I think I'm saying this as honest as I can and as unbiased as I can, I have not heard a more compelling argument for how we're going to get new eyes on our hobby and get new buyers into our hobby compared to what Palm Street can offer as far as new eyes, because of the variety of users that they already have that are already wired with whatever we're wired with that makes us love this. They might never buy a ball python, but they're more likely potential to than just, I don't know, posting random pictures on Facebook or hoping that somebody who Googles ball python comes into our classified listing. So that to me is the exciting part. There'll be plenty of breeders who go, well, that's not who I want to sell to. Okay, but in 5 years it will be, and those people will be the ones that you want to sell to. I'd rather them have the brand loyalty and comfortability with me. And one note, HH Pythons, I wasn't directing my response toward you. I didn't think you were knocking anything. I didn't take it that way. So sorry if I came across like my response was directed at you. I've gotten weird feedback from some people where I'm like, whoa, I think you don't have to use it. Don't go carry on with what you were doing. Right. It's not worth anybody getting mad over anything. So that wasn't you. I have run into some of those though. We have a pretty strong tribal streak in our little community. So
and that's just it. I mean,
every now and again, it's weird. Yeah.
We can only sell to each other so long, but pretty quick we need to see a new face to sell to, and that can't sustain. So I 100% agree. I think they completely understood what you meant too. So
and in this crash correction time, it's more important than ever. Nobody cares about bringing new people in when everybody's slinging 10 grand snakes. That ain't now, and I don't know that it's ever coming back. So, okay, what's the next best answer? We need some new blood in here, man.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
There we go.
All right. Well, all great plans laid aside. We absolutely destroyed our time frame. We talked about it being an hour and a half.
We were going to.
And it's going to inevitably, I'll blabber on this stuff forever. And it's important to me. It's important to me on a bunch of different levels, right? It's your time. You're gracious enough to come and sit with us. We want to give you as much time as possible. We also do feel strongly about a lot of what we talked about tonight. And it's not just in a passing way. It's like these things are ingrained in our daily lives, and we do want to see these go certain directions. So when you get on certain topics, it's hard not to stay on that and drive it home and bring in different ideas and get excited, right? So nothing negative about where we're at, but we're definitely in a bad place time-wise. I'm just saying, we're way over it, right? But
I can attest. At least on Tuesdays, there is always another Tuesday right around the corner. So when when the right Wednesday comes up, let me know. We'll pick it up again. I always I enjoy it, and as I said earlier, if there's no downtime or dead air, and we're talking on, that means there's a useful show and content there. So I appreciate the platform. Thank you.
We'd love to have you again too. So.
Anytime.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to come back around. I wish there was, and I don't wish there was a way to avoid it, because these are the best conversations. I enjoy them greatly, but I feel a little bit like cutting into your time at some point, and I don't want to be that side of the equation either. So, with that being said, enough of that going around back and forth, two different directions. Jamie, we had a pile of stuff again. I know you struggled with this on the first episode. You had an A, B, C options. You made Adam flip a coin for trivia. But we got to hand out some cash, and the people that have stuck it out
$20 tonight.
Oh, yeah. If they've been here, if they've been this long, they definitely deserve something for putting up with us.
So let's get them some money in their pocket, something they can put in.
I definitely did have an A, B, and C, but I went ahead and picked which one I was going to ask all by myself.
Okay, all right. Good on you. Nice job.
Collaboration. During the hot seat, when asked who Jason would collaborate with, who was his choice?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a super random one. It's not directly on the guest this time, so.
Right.
People tune out when it's not the guest. If it's just us talking, they're just they're tuned out. When the guest is saying stuff, they pay attention.
Yeah.
There we go. People were paying attention. There it is.
They were Ozzy, absolutely.
Greg, congrats.
Greg was the
quickest. Nice work. Yeah, quick fire right there.
Yep. $20 added to your Forge coin, Greg.
Greg, that account's growing. Are you going to spend it with yourself, Mr. Affiliate? Are you going to buy your own merch, sir? No, I'm absolutely kidding. And that's the whole point of this. Like we're all kind of doing this as a group, and we need to get those people out there too. I know I beat the Forge coin thing up, but I really do think it's a good community ethic for like-minded breeders, people on similar tiers, to really kind of prop each other up and
That's right.
You know, show what's great about what's going on. You know, focus on that. So, Adam, any last words? Actually, I know you're coming up on some lives. Do you want to touch on things people can look for you on in the next week, 2 weeks that you know you're going to be present?
Well, in 8 hours and 11 minutes, I do a Thursday morning, every Thursday morning at 6:30 Central Time. I do a morning show with my buddy Joe Arner. He does not have snakes. He's also an entrepreneur, and the whole premise of the show was we've known each other 15 years or so, and I've known his well, they're not married, but significant other. I went to high school with her, so I've known her 30 years. We were very all close friends, and we were sitting around the table one night, and he was like, "You're doing what?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have these snakes." And he was like, "What didn't you have like?" All the things that we all get asked. And I was like, This is a show, Joe. This is a show of Adam has snakes. You have questions. And we've been going for 2 years on that. So that's every Thursday morning. I thought 7:30 was an appetizing time when I lived in Florida, and then I moved to Minnesota. And the show was going pretty well, and we had advertisers and commitments. And I was like, man, all right, 6:30 on Thursday. So every Thursday morning, 6:30, that's called Proper Cup of Joe. Every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, that's Proper Royals. Both of those have now been running for years, I'm happy to say, and thankful to say. Tomorrow night, I am on, because I guess I just don't know when to just, relax. Tomorrow night, I'm on a podcast called Show Me Your Rack with Irresistible Balls and Lace Balls.
Nice.
Generally, the shows I do are kind of like tonight, where I'm behind a microphone conversing. We're talking theoretical, all that good stuff. Tomorrow night is showing off some snakes from the facility. So I'll be doing that's a rare version for me. I don't know why. I like snakes fine. But anyway, I'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then I think next Wednesday or Thursday, I have to look, I'm not sure, with Supreme Gecko. I'll be a guest on their show, which I don't know what a ball python dude has to do on Supreme Gecko's channel, but Wally and Nanette are fantastic about building community.
Palm Street.
Yeah.
Palm Street.
There you go.
Yeah, they're fantastic folks, and they invited me to come on the show. I said, "Yeah, let's go hang out." So I don't know what we're talking about, but we'll find out. And Wally's great.
Awesome.
I've spent a lot of time working with Wally, or chatting. We haven't actually done any work, but similar wavelengths as far as business and outlook and community building and that kind of thing.
Sure.
Very nice.
Awesome.
That's
a nice
awesome.
schedule coming up. So people
Nikki
look
and
out
Lace
for
are a
those.
hoot.
Yeah. I'm going to be.
That'll be a fun one.
I'm going to be out of my
Yeah.
league. It's going to be great. Yeah, I'm hoping they take it a little bit easy on me, but it'll be fun either way.
Not a chance. Nikki, maybe.
No.
You might get on Nikki's soft side. Lace is going to just hammer you.
Oh, just
for sure.
and Lace puts out fantastic. I've never worked with them, and but Lace's content is absolutely hilarious. The sense of humor there and insight and I find a real beauty in people that have no fear or no fear of how they're going to be received, as long as they're doing like good-natured things. I have Lace is just all out there, man. It's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it. I am excited for that.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can't wait
it's
to
gonna be
watch
fun.
that one.
We'll catch it. Absolutely
Yeah,
catch
for
it.
sure.
Everybody else out there catch it too.
Cool.
Yes.
But yeah, Adam, Thank you again, man. I knew round
thank
2 was
you.
inevitable. There's probably going to be a round 3, maybe a round 4. We'll probably just be ice fishing doing round 5. Who knows what the heck's coming? But
yeah, I gotta go see the aurora borealis. It's out there now.
Yeah.
Supposed to be. I hope. I saw it last night, so I won't be too downtrodden. But
I've been getting pictures from my family, and it's phenomenal out there.
It's supposed to be banging like as much as or more than last night. So yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. So
You can't see that, but it's fantastic.
On that note, go see the aurora borealis, borealis, and then come check us out next week, guys. We got JC, young guy. It's going to be a really different show for us, but it's going to be a fun show. It's just starting out. Super excited about what he's doing. He's putting out reels and things, talking about where he wants to go already. We can't wait to get all that information from him next week. So come join us. Adam, thank you again so much.
My
audience.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, chat, for hanging out through this whole thing. But let's get the heck out of here, end this thing, and 2 days left, guys, and we got a weekend ahead of us. So we can stretch it out. We can make it. Yeah. Let's get the heck out. Appreciate it. No yawning, Adam. No
I know. I was trying to hold on to it. It slipped out.
It slipped out. You can't yawn on here, man. See you guys next week.